Jess, how did you get into sports, and even more importantly, why? What was it about sports that helped develop you?
I think sports for me when I was growing up was always an outlet, to be honest. Not only was it an outlet for kind of between, I know, before my preteens, it was kind of a place where I knew I could just, I don't know, express myself a little bit. And then as I grew up through my teenage years, obviously, going through some emotional stuff myself, it was definitely my outlet from life. So it was through the years that it kind of changed as to the reasons as to why it was my outlet. But the one kind of kind of constant was that it was exactly that. It was my safe place. I didn't feel all that comfortable at school at that time. I didn't really enjoy going to school. I didn't feel that comfortable in my life because I was gay, and it was really not a very common thing, or certainly wasn't a common public thing back then. But one thing that was my constant and my kind of safe place was this club that was there for me every week. And I could go there and be who I was and not have to worry about anything. But yeah, football was my love, and I couldn't do it at school. I couldn't do anything. We had to do gym and dancing and all that kind of stuff. So, back then it was just not a very progressive time, shall we say.
Right. And so what was it about your club environment and perhaps the coaches that made it a welcoming place for you?
I think, well, number one, I think they kind of could see at a very young age that I had talent, which, was important. But I think more important than that was, I think they knew that I struggled outside of club. And so I think they knew that if they had to make sure that I enjoyed it there, so I would stay there. And then I guess in time they'd hope that if I kept enjoying there and kept going there, I would stay out of trouble. I would feel more confident within myself, have more belief in myself, and then channel my talent to be able to achieve what I've achieved.
So you're from the UK, but you played in the US. You have a sense of what our sport culture is like over here. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a good chunk of our sport development or our participation opportunities are through the schools. And we're trying to think very intentionally about how to make more room for certain underrepresented populations in school sports, right? So what would be your advice for coaches or administrators to help make high school sports a welcoming place for kids who are LGBTQ?
That's a great question. I think in a way to make it more open, I think it's important that the coaches understand when they're dealing with the age group of high school specifically, is that the actual game itself is probably the least important thing of your role and of your job. Obviously everybody wants to win and everybody wants to be that coach that goes 10-0-0. I think that's how the Americans say it. But truly the most important thing is that you take the time to understand your athletes as humans, and as people, and you take the time to develop them and make sure they're okay and make sure it's a safe place. And you do all that, prior to the football. football or the baseball or the softball, sorry, or the, you know, American football or the basketball, because at that age, I think that's the most important thing. I really, really do. Because the sport, if the kids are talented, that will come. That will come anyway, you know. But what will be a problem will be how they think, how they behave, their self-confidence, how they interact. That will keep being a problem throughout their career if you don't help guide that at that young age. And I think sometimes, especially in America, that gets lost because winning is far more important than anything else. You know, if you just go there and you just play football and you just play the best players, or you just focus on that, you don't focus on the group, then you're going to lose that. You're going to lose that. And if that's all you're focused on, then yeah, you're not looking at is so-and-so participating, why don't they speak to so-and-so, why are they not actively kind of engaging in team activities and things like that. Sometimes we just can go, oh yeah, but she's shy, or yeah, but you know, that's just him, he's just like that, he's awkward. And you know, that's the easy thing to say. You know, the difficult thing to say is, well, why are they shy? You know, it could be because for a number of reasons. They don't feel safe, they don't feel included, you know. It's the easiest thing in the world to just put it down to something like that and put a kid in a box. Even now, I'll tell you a story that we have a new coach from the Rain, and he came in for pre-season, and this is at our level now, and I'm 33, believe it or not, I'm 33. And you know, one of the first meetings we had, we went into a one-on-one kind of conversation, and he just went, how are you? Like, how's your family? Do you miss home? What are your feelings? It was absolutely nothing to do with football, not one thing. And already we've engaged in a conversation that allows me to feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more kind of comfortable, and a little bit more open. And that was our first meeting. It takes 10 minutes, you know. And I think we, you know, life is so busy nowadays, and you know, you have so much to do that we forget that those 5-10 minutes actually could tell you an awful lot about one of your kids. And I think the most important thing to remember, and I keep saying it, is that, you know, we're not talking about elite athletes at this age, at this point. You know, you're talking about young kids and young adults, you could say. And yeah, of course, they're going to be motivated to become elite. But in order to also kind of strive for that motivation, you need to want to go to training. And if you feel safe and comfortable with your coach, which then makes you a little bit more open, which means then you'll actively participate in group activities and with your peers, then I think you're going to unlock more from that athlete than you would if you just solely kept pushing them to become elite but be completely closed off.
Well, that's terrific. Well, Jess, thank you for your time. These were terrific insights. Really appreciate it.